All right, what is up, VIP crew? Welcome into our live show. This is slightly different because every about 5 to 6 months, somewhere in that range, we open up the doors to the VIP group. Naturally, what happens, because I've had people question, if you fill a group up, how do spots become open? Why do people leave? What happens is this group acts as a stepping stone in a lot of people's business, which is great. That's what we built it for. We have people that don't need this group, like Martin and Matt and some of these guys. They are far surpassing the numbers that they started with when they came in here, but they choose to still give back to you guys is the main reason that they're here. But why people leave is it's a stepping stone. A lot of people come to us, and our audience base is typically one of two scenarios. One, brand new seller or somebody that doesn't even have an Amazon or eBay account. So if you are in that category, welcome. We have room for you. We have content for you. It's very easy for those ones to come into this group, see all this stuff, and get overwhelmed. That's totally normal. That's part of just getting thrown into a group like this. So what we like to do is this orientation call as basically your Kickstarter. And then from there, we can dive into more actual strategy and game plan for each of you individually, which I'll talk about. The other person that typically is drawn to our channel, our content inside this VIP group, is somebody who has had sales on eBay, Amazon, local, wherever the case may be. They know how to sell stuff. They're just kind of stuck at that like 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month revenue. And they want to get to the 5, the 10, the 20K a month. That's kind of the wheelhouse that we play right here, is to help you guys get to that 10K a month. That's kind of like, if not everyone wants to get to that point, but we found that through the numerous conversations I've had throughout all the different members that we've had roll through this group, the 10K a month mark is the mark that typically, of course, that's revenue. Profit depends on what product you are getting, but we can all say that if you are making 10K a month in sales, a safe number on profit is probably 2 to 3 grand. If you're running 20 to 30%, that's kind of baseline average. Some people are going to be doing way more. Some people are doing a little bit less, but at the end of the day, about $2,500 a month profit is what you'll expect to see on 10K sales. Please, no one quote me on that and be like, well, Chad said I would do this. There's a lot of factors involved, but I'm just using that as a guide here. Now, if you are doing $2,500 a month profit, that's where things start to change. And I talk about that because that was the number for Trista and I, that we were able to kind of transition her out of her job and to start doing this business as a family. And now this is what we do full time, between the reselling, the VIP group, some of the other services and affiliate marketing and that kind of stuff. So that's why we love that number 10K a month. That's like the 10K club, because once you hit 10K a month, that's where your life can start to actually have an impact. Some of you want to quit a job. Some of you want to bring a spouse home. Some of you just want to be able to resell on the side to save up and stockpile and have really epic trips with your family. That's another thing that we do as well, as we have our Poshmark account. We've done YouTube videos that are recorded. We just need to edit and upload these. But we have used Poshmark. We've never pulled a dime out of Poshmark unless it's for traveling. So the recent Disneyland trip that we just went down and did a few months ago, that was all expenses paid. It was about $3,500 trip, all expenses paid for by Poshmark selling that Trista did. So those are a couple different scenarios on the types of people that are drawn to our channel and drawn inside this VIP group. So I just want to lay the foundation of that's kind of our ideal target market. Now, once people get past 10K a month, trust me, if you can figure out how to resell 10K a month, getting to 20 is not that hard. Getting to 30 is not that hard. Then it just becomes a different conversation going on there. So our goal is to help you get through the tough hurdles in the beginning of figuring this all out, so you can find which methods and strategies work for you. And then we can kind of release you and let you go upon your way. If you choose to stay here, we appreciate it. We don't have a lot of turnover in this group. That's why we don't open up spots very often. I can tell you that. Martin said he pays for friends. That's the third person that wants to be in here. They don't care about reselling. They just want to pay for friends. You can do both. That's cool. So I just want to lay that as the foundation. And I just want to officially say welcome. It's been a crazy ass few weeks since we've had new members coming in and I haven't had a chance to sit down and just say welcome. So I want to welcome all the new members. I know we have a little chunk here on the live stream, and then we also have this recorded. So if you're watching the recording and you are brand new, welcome in. I want to just do this as a way as like an orientation, right? If you start at a new school class, you have to get an orientation of some sort to kind of get the layout of what's going on, especially for you newbies. Did any of you join the group and see calls going on, Zoom calls, topics, recordings, Bolo sheet, and you're like, what the F did I get myself into? Like, what is all this stuff? We're going to explain that right now. Number one, I want to just introduce you guys if you haven't officially met. I know you've had a couple Monday Night Live listing calls, but Gretchen, hashtag the best admin ever, is our admin support of the group. If you need any help at all, she is more than willing to sit here and tag you guys in older posts. She's great at arbitraging is what we call it. She can arbitrage. If you ask a question or want to see a video that was done on a specific topic, she can arbitrage and tag you in any of the older posts that have been done on those topics. Gretchen's one of our OGs, so she's seen every post that's been done in this group. So she has them all memorized. So we couldn't run this without Gretchen, all the work that she does. We can't be in the group every single day at all times. So she's amazing at basically filling in those shoes and helping out with you as well. Gretchen is very, very knowledgeable and heavy on the Poshmark side. So if you guys have clothing, Poshmark, higher end designer stuff, she's your gal. She knows her stuff. Gretchen, you just want to say hi to the crew? I just did like an intro for you, but you can say hi.
Right. No, I'll say hi. My only like big thing is asking people, because I know a lot of people are like, hey, PM or post it in the group. There is definitely somebody out there who has the same question as you. So if you have a question, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I will tell you exactly how it is and I'll get you a right answer. But yeah, post it in the group because someone is going to have that same question that you have.
Awesome. I love that. So we appreciate Gretchen. Thank her for being here. We've also got some of our OG members too that are in here. And like I said, these guys are past the point of needing any advice that's given in here. But they choose to stay here, whether it's paying for friends or just wanting to give back. We appreciate that. And that's another premise too I like to cover is a lot of people sign up because it's like the Chaz and Trista show. I get that. We appreciate it. But I want you to understand right out of the gate, this is not about Trista and I. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel, the content, the videos. We know that you signed up for this group because of us, but we are only one business, one way of doing things. We have at least 20 or 30 heavy hitters in so many different platforms and categories in this group. So if it's ever a conversation or a question or a topic that I don't have much experience in, very, very high probability that somebody in the group has experience. And if you just post the question, you're going to get your answer. There's not many questions that go unnoticed in this group, and nearly every single one can get answered by somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. Matt's going to get the boot, it sounds like. So with that being said too, this is not one of the free groups. How many of you, and you can unmute yourself or you just raise your hand, give me some type of sign here, or you can use the chat option as well on Zoom. How many of you have been in some of the bigger, large, free Facebook groups and you have a fear of even posting anything because you'll be made out to feel dumb or not know what you're doing? I've been there, done that. This is not that group. So I want you to understand that any question you have, no matter how dumb you may think it is oh, I just made $100 sale on eBay. Sorry, I forgot to turn that off. I'm usually good about having my stuff off. I want you to feel comfortable to post here. Okay. The last thing I ever want is to accept your money for this membership and to have you just be a fly on the wall. Now, I get that we as business owners, entrepreneurs, there's a lot of us that are introverts. I'm like a 60-40 split, but actually the larger chunk is an introvert, believe it or not. I'm good for like 2 or 3 days around people, and then I need a couple days to just retract in my own head. That's why I disappear for a couple days at a time sometimes, because I just need to be in my own head. So I get that if you are introverts, the natural thing is just sit back and observe, just watch. I get that. I do that too. but I want this to be your opportunity to grow as a person as well. So if you're a little uncomfortable putting yourself out there, some of you just showing up and turning your webcam on right here is already a huge step. Could we all agree that we've all had that like nervousness to turn a video on? So that type of little step is going to help you grow as a person, which is going to help you grow as a business owner and be able to handle those things as they come your way. So I want you to be comfortable to post any questions that you have, whether you message myself, Trista, Gretchen, you want to post it publicly in the page, go for it. I want this to be kind of that stepping stone you need to take control of your business. So let me just cover the layout of the group, how it works. It's a lot of stuff. And it never started this way. It just started as like this, close-knit little like 10, 15, 20 person group. And then as it grew, we had to come up with, okay, I used to do one-on-one calls every single day with all the members. So you can imagine once we got past like 20 members, my time was getting eaten up with one-on-one calls, which is great. I love to get on one-on-one phone calls with you guys. But if I'm doing 15 or 20 minutes per person times 30, 40, 50 people every week, I have zero time for our own business anymore. And I don't charge enough to be doing those one-on-one calls. People have asked me too, the $20 a month that you pay, that includes the time I spend with you. I'm not one of these gurus, influencers, whatever you want to call it. I'm not one of these influencers, and the OGs can tell you I've never charged once. Even when I've been offered to sit down on a Zoom call, if you need one-on-one FaceTime on a video for 30 minutes, I will do that for you. Okay. So I want you to know we are here to help you. I'm not going to upcharge you. I'm not going to upsell you. I'm not going to charge you $8.95 for a store review or any of that crap. Your $20 includes it all. I just want to make that crystal clear. And your membership, and I need to put this as like a bullet point somewhere. Your membership includes a spouse or business partner, by the way, no extra charge. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, I have a business partner who's doing this with me and I'd love to get them in. Can I add them to the payment plan? You don't have to worry about that. You get that one freebie for yourself if it's a spouse or a business partner. So let's start with the base of why I think this group is as great as it is. I can't think of one. I would pin this group up against anybody for call consistency. We have over 75 VIP show call recordings. Gretchen, how many have we missed in the last 2 years? We've missed 5, maybe 6 Wednesday night calls.
I would say 6 is the max.
Yeah, like we have not missed many. So I would pin our group up over the last 2 years against many, many people. We have had hands down the best consistency when it comes to weekly accountability calls, which is this setup right here. Sometimes we mix it up. We have guest speakers. We have a topic of the night. We open it up for accountability. So it's not me doing all the talking. I'm coming in and asking each of you what you're struggling with, what you're accomplishing, what your goals are, etc. So we mix it up every single week. So here's the layout of how those calls work. Monday nights, some of you have probably been thrown into that madness already. Monday nights, consider it your meetup. Have you guys ever been to any type of meetup, especially a reseller event? You typically meet up at a restaurant, a bar, somewhere, and there's no topic presented. It's not like you're going to a conference that's pre-scripted. You show up, you get a mingle with your coworkers because this is an extremely lonely business. How many of you are brand new getting into this reselling game and you're realizing real quick that this can be a very lonely thing? You're typically in a garage, in a spare bedroom, in a corner in a room, doing this by yourself. Your spouse may support you. Your spouse may see you doing the work, but they don't get it. That's how Trista and I were for about 6 months. She supported me 100%. I was very grateful for that. But she didn't get it until she started putting stickers on boxes and helping me take photos. Then she got it. So this is a very lonely business. So consider your Monday night calls, which are Monday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Again, we're West Coast, so all my timing is always going to be Pacific time. East Coast, you have to add 3 hours. In between, do the math. Look up a time zone chart if you need to. I've done that many times. So Monday night calls, no script, no agenda. It's basically your powwow session with your coworkers. Okay, this is where you get to let off some steam. You can get on there and vent a little bit about your hard week. We call it live listing because a lot of people will just actively be doing their eBay, Poshmark, listings while you basically just have a work party for an hour. So that one's great because you'll get the like most laid back, no BS answers you can expect from anybody. So if you're looking for a really good opportunity, and I think it helps out with consistency too. It gives you at least 1 hour every Monday night that you can sit down and with your coworkers, you can sit here and do your listings. And you can even set a goal too, like, hey, I'm going to get 10 listings up during this call, right? Depends how much you're going to chit chat and talk. But that's kind of like your meetup of the week. There's no script, no agenda up top, no topic, but it's a great way just to start your week and get to know your people too. That's the best part, is you guys get to know each other on a more personal level. The
I'm gonna
second
jump in
call
on
that we
Monday
host,
night.
oh, go for it.
Pause. Monday night is my thing. You guys will see me and Trista. Martin's usually here. Matthew's usually here. Michael, you were tardy this week. Don't think you weren't noticed with not being here. But I would say the largest complaint I get is like, why don't you record these? You guys, this is my night. It's fun. No one wants to be recorded making a fool of themselves, and sometimes it happens. And I think it's just the best way to kind of get to know people that might be in your same situation, in your same. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot.
Absolutely. And I forgot to mention that too, but the calls on Monday nights are not recorded for that reason. It's just a live work party. So if you want to be in on that action, have that fun, you've got to be there Monday nights. The second official call that is hosted, because we do the 2 a week, one is Monday nights, the other one is going to be Wednesday nights. This is the official VIP live show each week. So we do the guest speakers, we bring in the accountability aspect, we bring in a topic of the week typically. Sometimes I don't have a topic and I just want to check in with you guys, right? Because again, this group is not about me or Trista at all. This, like, we facilitate, we coordinate it all, but ultimately it's you guys. We want to help. So sometimes I don't have a topic I want to, because I don't feel like talking all the time, shockingly, I know. But those times that I want to dive in and get to know you guys more and see what's going on in your world, your business. Yes, according to Matt, there is no pants required, which is the beautiful part about webcams. No one could be wearing pants right now. So that's the call schedule. It's just Monday, Wednesday nights. And then shout out to guys like Matt and Martin. They'll do unofficial, just random Zoom hangouts, and they'll post up in the groups. You guys have probably seen a few of those by now. So anytime that they're prepping and shipping, and that's a lot of like kind of quiet downtime, really. If you're just doing labels, it's easy work, it's repetitive, and it gives you some downtime. And so these guys will pop up and do these live chats, which is more Q&A sesh, kind of hangout. So those are extremely helpful to keep an eye out for too. And then the last part of the call schedule is people have been asked about one-on-one calls. Obviously, we have several hundred members. I love y'all, but I cannot spend 100 hours a week. Literally, that's what it would take for me to do calls with every single member. So what I do is usually once a week, I open up, we're coming out of our like hiatus, but once a week, you'll see my Calendly link, and it's always pinned in the group announcement. You'll see all kinds of stuff in the announcement post, and I'll always update. Every time I open up new slots, I'll always do a new post, so you guys will see it pop up. That's your time if you want to schedule a one-on-one call with me, which, by the way, all new members, I would love to chat with each of you at least once, just so I can see who's kind of like in our little wheelhouse now, right? So all new members, please reach out to me. I don't have my Calendly link active right this second. But what you guys do have access to, and I don't know if a lot of new members know this, if you haven't read the pinned post, you have access to my cell phone via text message pretty much at all times. So shoot me a text if you are new. I'd love to get on the phone with you just for 10, 15 minutes and see what you're about, why you're in this group, etc. So shoot me a text. We'll schedule a time. We can hop on the phone and get you taken care of. And then starting this coming Monday, you'll see my Calendly link being posted more often. And that gives you any type of conversation you need to have, whether it's phone call, video chat, diving into your eBay store. I can help you out with some stuff like that. I think that's it for call schedule. Gretchen, I miss anything? Gretchen's really good at catching all the stuff I miss, so it helps.
just a reminder, I know we already talked about the time zone difference, but if it's 6 o'clock in the morning and you're on the East Coast, that is not a good time to text Charles. That's all I got.
Yes. And we bring that up because you'd be shocked how much it happens. I've gotten 2 a.m. phone calls before from people that didn't translate their time zone difference correctly. I've gotten the 3 and 4 a.m. text messages, which is fine. I sleep through it, but we've got a 6-month-old who doesn't sleep through it. So that's my only ask is try to keep it between like 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Pacific time. That'd be great. And I'm getting pretty quick at like same day messaging back on people too. Second thing I want to talk about is there's 2 main components aside from the calls. There's 2 other main components about this group and the value that it brings. Number 1 is a Bolo sheet. So it's a Google sheet that I'm constantly updating with Brickseek. And if you haven't heard of Brickseek, awesome tool you can use as a guide for your retail arbitrage. We've done a whole VIP call recording on this. So go into the group files or the pin post and you'll see a YouTube link to a private playlist. There's 75. I'm uploading a new one right now. So it should be 76. It's last week's recording. So we have about 75, 76 recordings already up. Go scroll back just a few. I think it was probably 4 or 5 videos back on that playlist on the recents, and you'll see a Brickseek one. So if you want to learn hands-on how to use Brickseek, I did a whole live session just on that for an hour. But Brickseek, I'm going to give you a Brickseek link. You need to put your zip code into that, and it's going to show you stock levels and pricing around your area for that item. Now, here's the thing with Bolos. If I post, like I just posted one about the camera, the waterproof cameras, right? So I found them for $3.50 each. Now I've had some people that will use Brickseek and be like, well, I can't find it that cheap. That was just in my area. It's completely regional how this whole clearance thing works. So I may find them for $3.50. Yours might be $7, or you might find them cheaper. So I'm just keeping an eye out for the type of retail arbitrage stuff I'm buying. That way I can provide you guys with the direct links to see if it's in your area for a low enough price to profit on as well. So the Bolo sheet is great. I update that pretty much on a weekly basis. You'll see a lot more Walmart stuff than anything. Walmart, just their clearance just dominates some of the other stores. You'll start to see now that we're getting into actual Q4, you're going to see Target. I've been hitting grocery outlets. I've been finding stuff in. I've been hitting Ross a lot more. So I'm going to start updating all these different stores will be on that main sheet. And if you didn't see it, if you've seen the sheet, on the bottom, there's an October and a November tab. So make sure you're on the November tab. That's going to be the most recent stuff. But with that being said, go back to the October one and go through and refresh each of those, because sometimes you find some of this old stock stuff that's still hanging around. It may have been discounted even more too. So the Bolo sheet, huge bonus. And then the VIP calls, the Wednesday night shows, just like this one, always recorded. So we record every single one. They are all uploaded to the private VIP list. My one strict thing that I am about here in this group, do not share the Bolo sheet. Do not share the VIP call recordings outside of this group. That is my one favor to ask of everyone in the group. Can we all say, no, we will not share this? Yes, we agree. I, on the YouTube side, can see view counts, and I've seen when I know videos are being shared. And if I see it happen, if it keeps happening, I will no longer record the VIP calls, which I would hate to do. And I would hate for 1 or 2 people to ruin it for everybody, but that will happen. So consider that a scare tactic, a fear thing. Hopefully it works. Just don't share the content. This is your content. It dilutes the value of the group if all the info is just being shared out. Okay. So the call recordings, we've talked nearly everything. I don't think we've done an episode on auctions, like storage units. We haven't done an episode on that yet, but there's a few things that I have in the works. We've talked about nearly every single topic that you can have questions on. So before posting in the group your questions, I would highly recommend you just go through that list. And it's going to be a YouTube video list, but they're all unlisted. So they're not public videos. Because I've had people be like, well, they're uploaded to YouTube. Everyone can see them. No, only you guys get to see those because you have the link. So again, just don't share the link. Just don't. So all the recordings are there. You don't have to watch all of them. I would highly recommend that wherever you are currently in your business, whatever you are interested in learning more about, scroll through those recordings and find the titles that catch your eye that you are interested in, right? If you have zero desire to sell any grocery, don't watch the grocery recordings. That's not going to do anything for you because it's not where you are right now. A year from now, when you start selling grocery, you might be into that. So go back and watch that recording as well. Grocery is the best. If you are not selling grocery, I do recommend you check it out. Don't wait a year. Check it out like now. Yeah, grocery is, you'll find we talk a lot of grocery in here because it's a very, very profitable category that not a lot of people talk openly about. And I think that's why it's still really, really profitable. Grocery is definitely juicy. So Bolo sheet and recordings. Do we have any questions on any of the stuff so far? I'm just throwing everything at you guys. So everyone's kind of back on the same page. You know where to find stuff. Everything you need to be able to find, because people are like, where do I find the Bolo sheet? Where do I find the VIP call recordings? Go to the top of the group. If you're on your desktop, your computer view, it's the pinned post at the top. Like Facebook changes all their stuff every day, but it's called announcements. So on the very top of the page, currently there is the White Elephant Gift Exchange. Santa something is pinned to the top, so you can check that out. I believe the other one is still pinned right underneath it. So go to the pin post. That's going to have everything you need to know. My personal cell phone number, I don't even have, it probably would be smart if I did this, but I don't even have like a secondary Google number. My personal cell phone number is right in there. Again, I have to have calls scheduled. We have a lot of stuff going on at all times, so all calls need to be scheduled. So I will not answer any numbers I don't recognize at all unless they're scheduled. Especially with the wave of anyone else getting telemarketer calls lately up the yin yang. So yeah, I don't even answer phone numbers unless they are on the books. So if you need to schedule a call, text me. And of course you guys can text me any reasonable time through the day. Calls.
You don't want to know about your
recordings.
warranty?
What's that?
Your car warranty. It's expiring. Haven't you heard?
So many of those. That and the health insurance people. And then the recent one I've been getting hammered by. I took a screenshot. I forgot to post on Instagram. I got 13 calls about getting my business searchable on Google. And I'm like, do not call me again. So bad. So those are like your three main value adds to this group. So I feel like that kind of hones it into three easy to understand categories, because when you get thrown into this type of group, you see all this scattered around. It's a little overwhelming. So I get that. So call schedules, Monday, Wednesday nights, and also one-on-one calls with myself. You just need to shoot me a text. You have access to a Bolo sheet. I usually sit down. I'm getting in a rhythm of every single Monday. I'm sitting down and updating that. And then you have access to all the past call recordings as well. My biggest thing for new members, and I touched a little bit about that, stay engaged with the group. We have members that shoot me an email and want to cancel their account, and I've had people that request refunds, totally fine. But you know what I do? I always cross-check their name inside the group. Never posted, never commented on anything, never attended a call, probably never watched the call recordings. If you do not engage, you're not going to get a single thing out of this group. So you can just message me tonight. If you plan on not engaging with the group, message me tonight. I'll provide you a refund. You can go be on your way. I'm telling you, the people who engage with this group are the ones that are ultimately going to be successful. They're the ones absorbing the information. They're talking to other members. They're building networks and connections. Engagement is my number one. The people who are not engaged are the ones who always email me, hey, I didn't get much out of the group. I need to cancel. Not a problem. See you later. Go find anywhere that you don't engage with that you'll get something out of. It's just not going to happen. You get the most out of what you engage with. How many people have Hulu and Netflix memberships that they pay for and they don't engage with, right? We're all a little guilty of that one with some subscription stuff.
I have a Planet Fitness membership I don't engage with. Does that count?
That's another example, prime example. And you guys know I can always correlate back to the fitness world. You know how many clients I've worked with because personal training was part of my career. If you guys don't know that, you know how many clients I've worked with where they're like, yeah, I've had a gym membership for like 3 years and I've been in 4 times. And I'm like, well, no wonder why you need to hire a trainer, because you didn't engage with the value you were paying for right there. It's the same thing with these types of groups, guys. You're going to get nothing out of this if you do not engage. What does engagement look like? Because I know as a new member, you may have this running through your head like, well, if I'm new and I don't know anything, how can I engage? How can I provide value back to the group? I totally get that. Just comment on posts, right? You're going to see a lot of posts where people get pumped up and excited because they made a sale, they hit a new milestone. Congratulate them. Post your own questions. If you don't have, if you feel like you don't have the knowledge quite yet to give back, then start asking your own questions and engage with the group that way. The big one, just show up to these calls. There is a massive difference, at least for me. I know not everyone is the same type of learner, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts too. The times that I watch recordings, I'm not nearly as engaged with it as if I know that I'm watching it live. Are any of you guys the same way? I know that if I'm watching something live, because I'm always kind of on this type of scenario, I can call any of your names at any time. That kind of puts you on edge just a little bit, like, okay, I got to pay attention, right? So showing up to these calls is going to be one of the best ways that you can engage. And any call, I always say this too, any call that we ever do, I'm not looking for you to listen to me ramble for an hour and you come back thinking, oh my gosh, I got so much out of that entire hour conversation. That's not how this works. I'm looking for you to maybe get one tiny little nugget of something, one little spark out of these calls that's going to maybe inspire you to do something that you know you should have been doing this whole time, and it inspires you to start actually doing it. Maybe you learn a tiny little bit of info that might save you on shipping costs. Maybe like you're looking for these tiny little nuggets that are going to come back home with you. And that's when you're going to be able to ultimately have more knowledge built in, is just getting these tiny little nuggets throughout your journey. I don't know about you guys, but I've never watched one video that taught me everything I know. I've never read one book that got me all the knowledge that I have, right? I've never had just one experience that built all the experience I have. It's been a collection of the small nuggets, the small tips that I've taken, the small testing and retesting and failing. It's always the small, tiny nuggets, whether those are failures or experiences or videos. It's the small, tiny nuggets that you collect over the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years that's going to build your experience. So when you watch these types of calls, you're not looking to get it all out of the entire call. You're looking for just those 1 or 2 things that might apply to you. And here's the thing. How many of you have read a book and then you come back and read the same book again at a later point in life and you got something different out of it? It's going to be the same thing in your business. If you guys watch a call, not this one is not like a teaching or informative call, but if you go watch a call, let's say based on, we did one with Matt and Martin on seasonal grocery. If you watch that call now and you don't get much out of it, you're probably not selling grocery or you have no interest in it. But if you come back 6 months from now and you watch that call again and you've been selling grocery, then you're like, okay, now I know what they're talking about. Martin said this, I'm going to try that. And then it works or it doesn't work. You can test and retest. So watching the older videos at different points in time in your journey are going to give you different perspectives, because we're all in completely different areas in our business. Do we have questions so far? I threw a lot of stuff at you guys. All right, cool. So that's the orientation. That kind of gives you a layout for the vibe of the group. The culture in here is something you won't find anywhere else. I challenge it. Show me any other group that's going to bring the consistency of the calls, the amount of members that show up to these things. We will put it against anyone, because we've built something over the last 2.5 years inside of this group that you won't find anywhere else, at least for $20. I'll tell you that. I've been told by many, many, many very large names that I should be charging way more than $20 a month, which I should. Financially, if you look at my tax returns, I should be doing triple the amount on this group. I have no desire to do that. Especially those of you that follow my Instagram, my YouTube. I have no desire to be one of the gurus that does that. I'm not going to sell you some crazy expensive course. I'm not going to, I will do mentorship, the one-on-one approach. I will do that. But yeah, some groups are over $100 a month. So I wanted to help the average person, because there's nothing wrong with those groups. Let me make that crystal clear. There's nothing wrong with those groups. I'm in other groups that charge more that are great. There's nothing wrong with those when your business is ready for that type of level. The issue is, especially for the very large sellers, right? Getting into the, multi 6-figure into the 7-figure game. It's very, very difficult for those guys to connect with the people that have $500 to their name wanting to start a reseller business. It's very tough. We know what that feels like. We started our business with a 500 credit score and a $500 investment. That's it. So when people are like, oh, just get a credit card, you got a 500 credit score, you can't just get a credit card. Even the crappy credit cards don't want you. So we started with $500 cash because we had credit cards that were maxed out, and that's how our credit tanked to begin with a few years back. So we get it. We know what it's like to start with $500, no savings account, and kind of on the buy and pray method. Fortunately, it worked out for us, but because we've been through those trenches, we know that world, we know that pain. That's why we created this. It was affordable. It gives us a stepping stone for you guys to come in, learn everything you need to know about building a 6-figure business. There's no reason why you shouldn't go back and watch all 75 of the recordings and not have a 6-figure business within the next year. There's no reason why you shouldn't have that for those that are willing to work.
Well, Chaz, I just want to jump in and say I agree with you 100% on what you just said. And I've been at events where the larger sellers, the gurus, are trying to explain something to someone that is just getting started out, and the connection is not there. It just, they're talking 3-4 steps over the head of the new seller, and it's just like they don't remember what it's like to be just a beginner, or they don't remember having $100 in your bank account. They have no memory of it because they haven't had to deal with it so long.
Mm-hmm. So one of the biggest issues you will run into as a new seller, you will spend all of your money and then you'll be sitting around going, I want to go source, but I have no cash. That's an issue we ran into many, many, many times. So our goal here is to help you fix that problem. We want to get your cash flow up. We want you to be able to go source on a consistent weekly basis and start scaling your business that way. That's what we are here for. We are here to help bridge the gap of 0 to 10K a month. Some of you don't want 10K a month. That's great. It's going to be easier for you guys. If all you need is 5K a month, great. We'll help you get there. And then whether or not you want to graduate and go somewhere else, chances are pretty slim that will happen, because I can tell you we've got people doing 100K a month that are still in this group. It's a very, very special culture that we've built here. So I want to welcome you guys officially to it. So I'd love, just if you're comfortable, again, remember, like I said earlier, just little tiny things that push you outside of your comfort zone will help you grow as a person, as a business owner. Now's your chance to step up out of that comfort zone. So for all the new members here that are here live, if you're watching the recording, we'll catch up with you. But anyone here live that is new to the group, I would love just to go around the circle here and have you just state your name, who you are, what you do in your business, what your goals are, ultimately why you joined this group. Chances are you're struggling with something and you were hoping this group would help you overcome that. So that's specifically what I'm interested in, because I want to know why you came here, right? Maybe you just want to pay for friends. That's cool. I don't care. I'll take the $20 a month if that's all you want. But I just want to get to know you guys. And like I said, there's a lot of great people here who are more than willing to help, but we don't know what to help with unless we get to know you and your situation a little bit more. So it's just open mic night. So if anyone wants to unmute themselves and pop on, go for it. Welcome in.
Well, should I speak up?
Of
My
course.
My name on the screen, it says Patricia. I don't know how to change it to Patty, but I go by Patty. I was watching your YouTube videos, podcasts, whatever you call them, and really enjoyed them. And then I found out about this class. And, I'm 61 years old. I'm retiring at the end of this year. So I only got like a little over a month left to work. And I did join the call on Monday. And I'll have to say another difference on the Monday night call, a lot of drinking going on. It was very fun. But I sat there for like quite a while. And finally I put a message in there. I said, this is my first time. Is there, like, what do we do?
Yep.
I'm the only new one here, but it was pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's Monday. Like I said, Monday nights are definitely the laid back.
Yeah,
That's where people let their hair down.
It was hilarious. And of course, I'm struggling with the information overload, and I've got information coming at me from all angles, and I feel like because it's Q4, if I started a different time of year, maybe I would be dealing with it better, but I'm just really struggling with, feeling like the FOMO, and trying to shop and find some deals. And on the call the other night, Martin and Matt were telling me, because I would like to look into grocery more. So I went out to Meijer and found some mint Twinkies, and I sent them myself, merchant fulfilled today.
Awesome.
I just put them in the computer, and I thought, well, I'll just try it merchant fulfilled until I send my boxes next week. And someone bought them. So that was kind of exciting.
Well, nice work on the merchant filled. And I will say that's actually the right thing to do, because if you look at Hostess, like Twinkies, they have very short shelf life. So you're probably not going to be able to send those in.
Yeah, you have to merchant fill Twinkies. They only have 90 days out coming out the factory.
Yeah. So
yeah, good job.
Those are the holiday ones.
Yeah, I really do want to acknowledge you on that, because I know people that have waited 2 years. This is actual scenario. Someone has done FBA for 2 years because they didn't know how to merchant fill, and they were too scared just to try it. And my advice, of course, was list something merchant filled, watch it sell, and then package it and ship it. That's how you learn. The fact that you did that right out of the gate is amazing. So nice work.
Thank you.
I want to jump in real quick. Congratulations, Patty, on that. I will tell you, I've been in seller for I think going on 6 years now, and I did my first merchant fulfilled this year too. So,
way to go!
Congratulations, Patty,
on
beating me out.
I think they're looking good for me.
That's awesome. Are you brand new? Have you sold in the past?
No, I mean, I've just been doing this for about a month, but at the same time, I have been dabbling in eBay also, because what you can't sell on Amazon, well, I can put it on eBay. I've had over $1,000 in sales this month on eBay.
Oh my gosh. So right out of the gate, brand new, you've done 1K in your first month and successfully did a merchant filled.
And I've sent in 3 sets of boxes to Amazon.
All right, game over. She's taking over. She's going to take all of her spots.
But, a lot of my shopping is from the Dollar Tree. And
it doesn't matter where it comes from.
It don't matter where you get it.
Because guess what? When you do your taxes, a dollar profit is a dollar profit. It doesn't matter where it was sourced from.
But I was probably not paying as much attention to the ranks as I should have. When it comes up green on my Scoutify, I think, well, that can't be too bad. So I'll give that a try.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the closer number one, the better as far as speed goes. But ultimately, and this is a different topic I do want to bring up as a conversation in a future call. Ranks are BS in a lot of cases. I've sold many, many items that have a million rank. I know Andre's been in that game too. I love to sell things that people think have a bad rank, because there's usually a reason why. Martin's not going to want me to. Martin and Matt are like, shh, don't talk about it.
I'm hardly paying attention. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We're just picking on you. So yeah, we'll have a conversation in a future call geared just for like bad rank items. There's always a reason why. And so we'll dive into that. So don't worry about rank too much. Of course, don't buy things that don't have a rank quite yet. That's more getting into advanced stuff. But for now, keep doing what you're doing. Build up those sales, get those quick flips in. That's the best advice I can give to anybody.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, welcome in, Patty.
Thanks so much. Happy to be here.
Does after hearing how the group works and the layout, are you a little more comfortable instead of just getting thrown into a Monday call?
Oh yeah, no, that was a good way to start. It was really entertaining.
That was the icebreaker. That's what we should call it. It's the icebreaker call.
Yeah. But I didn't know. I thought it was like a working meeting. I looked at him and watched like 45 minutes. Are we having technical problems or something?
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah, it's like, when does the knowledge start? Because we're all just blowing the breeze. When do I learn things?
Yeah.
If you ever have a question on Monday night, just interrupt everybody and say, I have a question.
I do have a lot of I do have a lot of questions, but like you were saying, Gretchen, there's no such, I mean, if I'm having a question, other new people will have it too. So I'll just put those in the Facebook group.
That's great. Yeah, because a lot of people are just not comfortable even posting the question. So the more questions we can get up in that feed, the more eyeballs that can see it, the more it helps people.
And then other people can watch it and find answers too.
Absolutely. Because the cool part with this group too is we have a lot of different experience levels. So if you post a question, you might get 5 different great answers just based on 5 different experience levels.
I also love what you said about nuggets of information. And that's exactly what I got on Monday from Martin and Matt on the grocery store. So it put some more ideas in my head.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a library up here. You're just putting a new one up there each time.
Okay, so I know I'm not new. I've been here for about 6 months, and
we call you part of wave 2.
Yeah, part of wave 2.
3 waves of new members. You were wave 2.
Yep.
You're like a sophomore now.
Kind of toot my own horn like Martin usually does. I made my first $1,000 month in Amazon this month. I just actually started really getting into it thanks to a screw up by Walmart. They sent me 9 cases, not 9 boxes. But yeah,
whoops,
that was a nice one. But going back to what you said, Chaz, about feeling overwhelmed by all the knowledge, it does get easier. When I came in, mine was blown, and I felt like peanut butter every time I watched a video or went through one of these calls. But it does eventually get better, and you start focusing in on what you're wanting to do.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
Well, we enjoy you being here, man.
I wanted to, I'll jump in. I actually, I can't remember how I found you. You're scrolling Instagram and you are following someone, and then they mention someone and you click on them, and then you end up like 5 pages over. So
the rabbit trail.
I actually, on the page, I'm Empty Nest Hustle. My husband and I are empty nesters. We have a 21-year-old who's in college a couple hours away.
I've seen your name pop up.
Yeah, Empty Nest Hustle. I actually I have a similar background. I went back to school when I was 40 and got my exercise and sports science degree and did personal training. I've got several CrossFit certifications, and then I became a massage therapist.
Oh my gosh, we have literally the same background.
I know. So
that's awesome.
I know.
You're part of my people.
I know. I injured myself this year. I had a rib injury and couldn't work anymore. So I was sitting around, and a friend of mine started posting about Risa, and I was like, what is she doing? I've always loved to thrift and make things new again. And I was like, I can do that. So I actually started selling things around my house, and then I started thrifting. But the biggest mistake I made was I sold a couple things around the house just to see how to do it. But I went to Goodwill and spent like $250. Nice. And then without I'm not saying they're bad brands, but like stuff that I thought was good, like Calvin Klein and Old Navy. And now it's all just sitting there. So my biggest suggestion for anybody new would be start with every blasted thing in your house that you don't want, just to figure out how to do it. And then, shopping, retail arbitrage and all that. I discovered the bins. And so I haven't been to an actual Goodwill in a while, like the actual thrift store. I go to the bins a lot and just, I don't know, I picked up a vacuum cleaner on the side of the road today. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm all about free stuff. So, but anyway.
Amen to that. Who is it that, it's not College Picker. Who am I thinking of on you? Like huge YouTube channel.
Craigslist Center.
Not Pete. Taco Stacks, right?
Who's the person who picked up food and tried to sell it on Amazon? That's a no-no, by the
Yeah,
way.
so if
There's
you
not
guys-
too many no-nos, but there are a few things I will tell you absolutely not on.
So if you guys go follow Taco Stacks, dude's got almost 200,000 subscribers because he had a couple really viral videos. But I love watching his content because he goes on Sundays and he just picks up stuff on the side of curbs that people are just throwing away. Sometimes it's literally like furniture and like high-end stuff that's by the garbage can. He'll just go pick that stuff up, or it's got a free sign on it. And he makes
Trash pickup day is Tuesday in our neighborhood. And so I make the loop. We kind of live out in the country, but one of my first pickups was someone, my neighbor, a couple, I don't know her. She just lives a few houses now. She put out a bunch of like new toys. Like I guess she got them for her granddaughter or grandkids and didn't use them. I posted them because it was so many and so big. I actually posted them on Facebook Marketplace. And I've been doing Facebook Marketplace. I watched your video today about the Facebook Marketplace, but
awesome.
I'm all about free stuff. So
that's an amazing business model to have.
My employee actually drives alongside, and if you see a TV or a computer or something sitting on the road, he'll take it home and test it. And if it works, he just takes it to the pawn shop and flips it, right? Just like that. You know,
So
instant flip, $40 for a flat screen. He doesn't even care.
Yep.
No shipping, no hassle, no nothing.
that's one thing I want to do. I want to do Amazon, but I'm waiting. I'm gathering some books and stuff. I hear that's the best thing to do. And I want to wait until January 1st. We pay so much to get our taxes done because of investments and stuff. I'm like, I don't need one more thing. So I'm going to wait till January 1st and I'll probably be blowing up the page with questions. So, but I'm going to start with a small thing of books just to see how to do it.
Yeah. It's the same thing as like, you know, we've all been through that phase of when you create your first eBay listing, you're like, I'm going to mess this up somehow. I'm going to ship it wrong. But once it's done, the second time is like, okay, not that bad. I can do a little bit quicker this time. Amazon's gonna be the same way, especially your first FBA shipment. You don't know where to click on the page, how to put how do you get your labels on? There's all these questions. We've got a couple of videos on the main public YouTube channel. And I'm trying to think if I feel like I did a merchant filled video in this group. It was a Facebook Live. I have to go back and find it. But yeah, it's the same thing when you do that first FBA shipment. It's gonna be all kinds of questions, and I'm gonna screw this up. Once it's done and out the door, you're like, okay, got this. And the second time, third time, fourth time, you just get better and quicker every time.
I've already applied to be a seller, but they keep, I don't know, I'm not sending in the right paperwork. They won't accept my bank statement, so I got to figure that out.
Real quick on that, make sure you sit in the all pages of your bank statement, front and back.
I've tried, but they're only there's only one button. I can only upload one picture, but I'll ask it in the page. I don't want to take up a bunch of time right now, but that's my problem is my address is on one page and my name is on another.
Yeah.
So.
You need to upload the entire thing. And that's just changing your scanning settings.
Okay.
Welcome to Amazon. It's great when it works, but they've got all kinds of verification processes and all.
Yeah, they're getting worse every day with adding new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, welcome in, Connie. All right, who's up next? And you guys, by the way, you don't have to unmute yourselves and chit chat. I'm curious to see who's all on here. We've got speaking of Facebook Marketplace, we've got about 10 minutes until I got to go drop something off. Marketplace sale, $25.
I sold today on Facebook Marketplace. I had a CrossFit Strongman cement ball that I used to use. I sold it for $20.
$20.
meant-
That was a deal.
I know. I just wanted it out of my garage. I know. I just wanted it. And that's how I am with Facebook Marketplace. I just want it gone.
Yeah.
I just want it gone.
Yeah.
So
Nothing wrong with that. Quick flips, quick cash. Cash flow
Yeah.
is first thing everyone should focus on. Awesome. Any other members want to introduce themselves?
I can. I'm Becky. It says Mackey Ventures. We do some real estate investing as well, and so that's what it is. But our store name is H&K Market, and it's myself and my two sisters. And we named our store H&K Market because my grandma used to have, that was the name of her store when we were growing up. So
Oh, that's cool. That is
Yeah.
really cool.
yeah, so I have a day job. I work from home. It's a little slow right now, so I have some time to do it. My sister Melissa, who's in the background, she stays at home. So we go out and kind of thrift, and then she's in charge of doing the pictures and stuff. So there she is waving.
Teamwork. I love it.
Yeah. So probably my biggest is time management right now, and trying to figure out how to balance my day job, which I'm getting paid a lot, being paid good money to do, and try to do the eBay and Amazon as well. So I think we're up to probably about $900 in sales for this past month. And then we've listed about 250 items on eBay. And then I just sent in my first FBA shipment. So kind of waiting to see in the process and see what that turns around, what that looks like, because it's scary and you're not sure what you're doing in the process. But yeah.
Awesome. Nice work, especially on the eBay listings. 250 in the last month is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for
Mhm.
sure. So, but we kind of have a little system down, and that helps with my sister taking pictures and finding stuff. My other sister goes in and edits the drafts, and then because she doesn't have the products, then I look at the products and go ahead and list them. So
Awesome.
learning shipping is kind of a big thing, and making sure we have the right amount on our shipping has been also a learning experience, and how to make sure everything ships. And I've sent a couple things that got broken. So of course I replaced their money, and, worried about the negative feedback, but I've had positive, and just trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing with that.
Good. Well, it sounds like you guys have the system right out of the gate, which is crucial. We didn't even think about systems until like 3 years in. It was horrible. Like we built it for 2 years out of our garage, and then we got the first warehouse space, the smaller space behind us. That's when we were like, we are very unorganized. We should fix this. So the fact that you guys are doing it right out of the gate is great.
Yeah, I feel fortunate. We have a shop on our property, and so we have all of our inventory, because we went out and just bought a bunch of inventory, not knowing what we were doing, which was not the smartest thing to do. And we figured out what we want to do and what we don't. But anyways, my sister was out there taking pictures, and my office is in the house, but it's a little cold. We live in Oregon, Eugene, Springfield area, and so
you're in Eugene. I'm just north of you guys.
Yeah, I've seen some of your stuff, and so I was like trying to figure out where exactly you were, but then
oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, we have family in Eugene, so we're down there at least like once every other month.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
that's where we do our Thanksgiving, so we're actually planning on being down there this coming over Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, I saw it's supposed to snow, so that'll be interesting if it does.
Oh,
we don't do snow very well in Oregon, especially in the valleys.
All the towns shut down. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely. I'm actually planning a Portland-based meetup soon. I know it's a little bit of an extra drive for you, but I've been wanting to do a Portland and a Eugene meetup, because I know we have a lot of South resellers. So I'd love to do a meetup down there too.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get together.
Yeah, but I'm excited to be here, learn more, and just gather as much information as I can and make this profitable, because my goal is to have some passive income so that I can retire and travel, and my sisters do all the work.
He's a boss already. I love it.
Well, they don't think I'm the boss, but
Oh, of course. That's great. Well, welcome in. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Nobody comes to Indiana. I could do a post and get an eye out to see how many people we can do a reseller event over there. If I get enough people, I'll fly out pretty much anywhere. If we can get enough people together. That's
you don't come. You come to Virginia, but you don't come south.
That's true. Been over on that side twice now. We haven't made it down your way. But at least I got to see you both times.
Yes.
That was fun. New York is on the list for next year. So 2020, I've got 6 trips planned specifically for reseller events. So 2020 is going to be a busy year for the traveling. Michigan is on my list. I've got like a rough draft. Add Carolinas to the list. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got all.
Michigan, I could do Indiana.
If you come to Texas, you might die of heat exhaustion living up there.
Yeah, Texas is actually in the works, like a move. So it's
Why?
It's
too
Austin area.
hot.
Have you been in Oregon?
No, I would love to live there with all the snow. Where are you thinking about moving?
We're going outside of Austin.
I live about an hour from Austin.
Okay. Very cool.
Why?
All right, crew. I've got to go do my meetup, but I appreciate each of you being here for the official orientation call. This is recorded and pretty much pinned up to the top of the group. So new members that come in, they can watch this recording. We're usually pretty good now. We do a new orientation each time just because things kind of shift. It might be old info and old videos, etc. But thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions at all after watching this, you can go to the pin post in the group. You'll have access to my cell phone number. You can shoot me a text. You can direct message me on Facebook. Instagram has been, I don't know what it was lately, but the last like 3 weeks, I've been flooded with way more Instagram messages than usual. So IG is packed. I probably won't see your message too quick. Facebook is probably going to be one of the best ways, or text message to get a hold of me right now. So either of those ways if you guys have any questions. But aside from that, thanks for tuning in. You guys have an amazing night. We'll see you for the official show next Wednesday. Bye, crew.
Thank you. Good night.
See
Thank you.